Hi, I'm Aaron Farshney, and today I'll show you how to make an end of a gun barrel which has holes. Now, in some guns, you'll probably see something similar to this part here, even with silencers on some old guns. So, in order to make the holes, people think, oh, you can probably make it with a tube, then bore holes into it by using boolean or a few other things like that, but there's another simple way to make it, but it will require scaling afterwards. So what you can do, you can create it using a plane. Now, if you create a plane, and what I'm going to do with this one, see it's got 3 holes and it's got it 4 times. And this one I'm going to have 3 holes, then alternate 4, 3, 4, and do that 6 times. So if we're going to do it 6 times, I want to have a space in between these as well. So I'll be ending up to have 18 sides altogether. So it is plane that I'm creating. First I want to center it. Just make it an easier colour to see. And I want to have 18 sides. Now, a way to make sure that everything's even, and when you start making the holes you want to have square shapes so that it definitely is even, is I'm going to make sure that it's about 10 centimeters per width. So 18 times 10 is 180. So that's the width. Now for the height, what we can do, we can duplicate each hole instead. Now we can simply make one hole, then duplicate it all over the place. So we're going to have 2 holes, because you're going to have a cross section here, so that'll be 2 parts. Then we're going to have another 2 on top, so having 4, yeah, have 4 there, so that's fine. So that'll be 40 in height. Then what we're going to do here is we're going to double the amount, because I'll show you in a minute why. In fact, that's 7, there we go. Okay, what's going to happen is when you start creating the other parts afterwards, because it'll be misaligned when you do the 4 holes and the 3 holes, then the vertexes will change and you won't be able to copy and paste afterwards. So for now, let's just turn this into an editable poly. Now I'm going to have the center part, so that's the very center. So we'll use that as the first part of the hole. So target weld this one to here, that to there, and to make a square, I'm going to put that up here, and to make it an even cross section, as you can see. Now I'll tell you why it's important to have it square soon. So we've got that part, now we want to have one on top. So bring that down, that up, that down, and we're going to have another one which would be here, but we're not going to go fully through that. So let's see, we've got that there. Okay. Now, to make the entire thing nice and simple, all we need to do, and to make it very quickly, is to copy and paste everything. So if I remove target weld and select those and delete. Oh, actually, hold on. Yeah, I'll do it from this side here, so delete that portion about there, that's it. Delete this lot, and as long as you have this area, you'll be able to duplicate it constantly. Okay, so we've got our parts of the hole. Now I'm going to make a hole, so select that, the very central pointer across and simply chamfer it. I'm going to chamfer it to, let's give it a 6. It's a good size. Okay. Now we have that. This is what's going to happen. We've got the shape. We're going to turn on snapping. Well, not the second. We'll do in a minute. So just hold shift, drag it, click OK. Now what I want to do is align it here. So now I need to turn on snapping. And under snapping, you need to make sure to turn off everything apart from vertex here. The reason for this is that I can just quickly grab that vertex, just snap it, and that's it, done. So if I turn off the grid, there you go, you can see it's perfectly snapped. Let's turn off snap, bring that down, okay, turn on snap, then simply snap it in position. Then from here, I could just simply copy and paste, turn on snap, bring that there, then move this one here, there you go. It's a very simple way of doing it. Do one more. I'm going to have the 4 along here, so bring that up. Snap, snap. Bring these 2 down. Okay. Now if you remember, I said it was important to have 18 sides. Now each side will be represented by these long points here, because each square is that. So it's 1, 2, 3, so 3 per part, and 3, 6 are 18, so you want 6 of these all together. Let's grab that, move it across there, and now we've got 5, so just need a 4. Right, now I just need to snap all this together. Just like that. Turn off snap. Okay, now we've got pretty much almost exactly what we want. Now what we need to do is that when it comes to rounding it and smoothing it eventually, it won't be very straight when it comes to chopping off this part, as you can see. So what we need to do, first we need to just select this and attach all of them. Oh, actually, before I do that, better make this a 5 because that would have to be chopped as well, I think. Yep. So let's just do these 2 as well. And we'll have to do the same at the bottom. Okay, then snap these together. Snap. Right, okay, now I'll do this. So that should be the one which is in the middle, which it is, middle of the world. Go to attach, let's just attach all of these. Just like that. Now what I want to do is select all the faces, so click vertexes, no, sorry, select all the vertexes, because we need to weld them all together. press Ctrl and A to select them all and hit weld. So welded them all. Now if you have a look here, we've pretty much got what we want, but now what we need to do is we've got 4 holes and we've got 3 holes. But this part will be cut. So I'm going to connect that, and I'm going to connect that. Let's connect on again, there it is. Then I'm going to delete these up here. Okay, there you go, so you've got 4, 3, 4. Now here you have a bit of a problem. So, in fact, what I should have done is delete that and select, in fact, what's the height of this? This is currently, the Y setting is at 60. So that, and that, I want to set the Y position to 60. And these two should be minus 60. Or 3 rather. There you go. We're going to target weld that to there, that to there, because we want it a square. Don't want it any funny shape. And we certainly don't want a triangle either. Oh, should have done that, should have done this one. Okay. And as you can see now that there are no triangles. Now the reason I say no triangles is when it comes to game models, you don't want to have a triangle, because if you're going to do a high polygon object, or you're going to use normal maps and put it into things like Mudbox or ZBrush, then they don't like triangles or angons, so I want to keep that in mind. So okay, here we go. If you wrap this now, you should see that this side would match with that side. 4, 3, flat on top and bottom, just what we want. So now, if we go back to the main view, here we go, we've got the entire thing. Now, to turn it into a barrel, you're probably thinking, how would you do that? Well, this is quite simple. First, you want to duplicate the plane, and for the thickness of the barrel, you want to do that for the distance of the central origin, which is the first plane. So that's set at 0. I want to say, let's just give it 5 centimeters for now. It makes it easier to see. So set that to 5. And with the bottom one, I want to rotate it. So I'll turn on angle snap. So it goes exactly 180, like so. And now what I need to do is, so what we need to do now is simply attach the bottom one, because that's where we want to take it from. Attach the top, and simply give it a bend modifier. So we want to do a 360 obviously, so connects to each other. It doesn't look like it's doing at the moment. But hit the Y, no, it's X, there you go. As you can see, it's almost done it now. Not quite, but close enough. So you can see that each hole is perfectly matched and aligned with each other. So what we're going to do now is go back to Edit Poly, and we're going to select each border, and instead of capping, which you normally would do if I capped, this is what would happen. We don't want that. We want to simply bridge it, and that will automatically add the extra polygon lines in for me. In fact, why didn't that work? Ah, of course. I need to weld it again. There we go. That should be okay, which it is. Good. Okay, now back to that. Select these two and hit bridge. There you go. Do the same this side. Bridge. And now we've got an enclosed object. And all we have to do now is simply select these holes. And pretty much what we just did with the ends to enclose it is we're going to use a bridge again. But what bridge can do is either extend across a gap to the marked area or cut through it, and in this case we're going to be cutting through it. So here we go. It's much better than Boolean because Boolean messes up quite a lot of the geometry and it's really not good for games. But for this it's much better, it's cleaner, and on top of that it's accurate. So there you go. That's how you create a barrel with very low polygons. Well, low enough anyway. You can have it much less if you went for only 4 sides, a little bit like this one here, then you could do it with a lot less polygons, probably half the number, because up here I've got how many? 1,000. If it was a close object and it's only going to be one on screen, then that's perfectly fine. So with here, if we just render it, you can see it's all perfectly fine. Now if you're going to do a high polygon version, what you would do is you need to, in fact let's just do quick mesh smooth. It might just work perfectly fine here. There you go. As you can see, each hole is decently smooth. If I just set the render iterations to, let's give it 5. Here we go. Hopefully, oh that's probably too much, wasn't it? Oh no, there you go. It's doing something. There you go. Got nice accurate round holes without any problems. And if you did any other way, particularly like Boolean, the geometry would be very hard to do, especially UV mapping. So if possible, even if you did it with a tube, which you can do it exactly the same way as this way, then you would get accurate holes again. So I hope you enjoyed watching this, and if you need any more hints and tips, then just post me a comment and I'll do another one for you.